is up, ladies and gents? It's your boy Lou Streets back with some more LSV, and in this video we are doing another in-depth match analysis. You guys enjoyed the last one against the Tekken God Supreme Harang player that I did, and asked me to do stuff like this more often so you can understand what I'm seeing and how I'm making my decisions, and I had a lot of fun doing it, so we're back to do it again. I'm trying to break bad habits and increase better ones to be more efficient in my Tekken journey, as I'm still fairly new to the franchise, so I want to share that with you guys so you can do the same as well. So let's get into it. Okay, so we are playing against a Fujin Jin. I have the frame data on screen, not the detailed amount, just a short, simple one. But overall, pretty much whatever I am, he's opposite. So if I'm -2, he's +2. If he's +2, I'm -2, and we'll see why that's important later on in the match. But let's get started. Match starts. I fish for a DF2, get clipped with a down 2. I just hold that. Okay, so one thing. Whenever somebody does a move like this that puts you in an extreme pushback state, it's because they're trying to be plus on block and find frames on it. Let's go ahead and rewind that one more time. Let's see the frame data on that. Dive kick, I'm -2 right now. So he's +2. So not a huge advantage, but he does have an advantage nonetheless. But a lot of times when you see this, somebody will try to jab check you or something like that afterward because they have frames to work with. In this scenario, I think my fastest move I can do is my down for a 1, which is 7 frames. But he has an extra 2 frames to work with to go against it. So I just pretty much hold that. So he throws out like a 1-2. I don't know what Jin's buttons are, so we're gonna call that a 1-2 because it's a double jab. I don't know the specifics of the buttons. I haven't played Jin yet, but I go underneath it because it's a high. Hit him with a poke. Now I'm +7. And he actually does some really cool right here. Off the +7, I go wild standing 4, so I can go into DSS2, and he actually parries it right there. So we see that this is something he likes to do. He's gonna go through this a few more times, but he parries the DSS2, and then I get checked. So now, he just did this same string 5 seconds ago, so this time I stay up high. So it is a high attack that we can duck. Like I poked it last time, but this time I just hold it because I don't know where he want to go with it. So, a little jab, sidestep, I sidestep. So this is funny, I sidestep and I got clipped. I think if I sidewalk here, I get a full punish on this. Because you see, if you look to the side, I'm pretty much all the way around him. Like if you see, I'm pretty much all the way around. If I just keep walking, I'll avoid this. One habit when you're sidestepping or sidewalking, they say that you need to make sure that you see the other opponent's attack fully go out before you do anything. I was gonna sidestep elbow, but I got kind of checked by a weird hitbox, so keep that in mind. So I get hit, get knocked off. Sidestep 3, but I'm not close enough. 1-2 jab, I'm just checking, trying to see, get some information, download what he likes to do when he gets hit. So this time, he hits me again with a big kind of a chunky kick, and it gives him, what is this in frames? Let's see what this is in frames again. +9. So, okay, this is kind of what I meant with earlier. So earlier he was +2, right? So now he's +9. He can keep this pressure going, but I don't know if he doesn't know the frame data or he just doesn't know how I'm gonna respond because it's early in the fight, but he's +9. I can kind of tell that I'm negative, but I don't know the frame specifically, so I just kind of hold that. Then after a while, I decide to sidestep and attack, but I only do the sidestep and attack based on the fact that he backed off me. I can kind of tell based on how that attack landed that I had to have been negative. And you see he's +9. If I press the button, he presses the button, I get blown up. But he doesn't, so I go, let's go back into it. He doesn't press the button. I go sidestep 3-4, blow him up. Combo, nunchuck. I do down 2-3 and push him toward the wall, but he doesn't fully make it, so now we get in this scenario right here. Whenever you see me do that and I cut a combo short, it's because I'm trying to push my opponent towards the wall because Law doesn't have a bunch of tornadoes to work with. I do a F2-1, but he doesn't stand up, so it just whips. He hits me with a down 2, I just back off. Go for a back 2, slide, just see if he's checking them ankles. All right. Kind of playing chicken. Up 4-3 gets blocked. 1-2 again. So once again, I don't know if you guys have noticed this. A lot of times when I'm throwing out these 1-2s, I'm just seeing what he's gonna do after it. Like a lot of times, I'm not going 1-2-3. I'm not doing the 1-2-3 D2-3 setup. I'm just pretty much throwing out 1-2s because I'm trying to see what does he like to do when he gets hit. Does he jab back so I can sidestep attack? Can I go with a low crush? I'm just trying to find out what he likes to do when he gets hit. If you notice, I've thrown that attack about 4 to 5 times, but I haven't done anything to follow up. Just a quick little 1-2. So that's when I get jab check, sidestep elbow. Let's go back for a second. So that's how I'm jab check, hit him with that, I get jabbed on. So if you see, this is kind of what I mean about like I'm fishing and setting things up. And I'm noticing this is becoming a part of my game that I didn't really used to have, but I'm starting to develop as I get more comfortable with Tekken and more comfortable with playing against high level players that don't really fall for cheap garbage, right? So if you notice, this is me trying to bait up a trap right here. I'm just trying to see how he's gonna react. So if you notice, I'm 1-2. He jabs me right here. I sidestep once. This is me just seeing what he's gonna do when I sidestep. So I sidestep initially, he doesn't do anything. And the funny thing about it is I'm +8 in this scenario, but because he blocked the last deck, but I sidestep, he don't do anything. So what do? I sidestep again, but this time I press the button. So the thing was, I only wanted to see what he was gonna do when I do that because of the fact that I want to see if he's gonna flinch. He didn't do anything, so I go right back to it. All I'm doing is fishing for a reaction this early in the fight. So if you look right here, I block that, sidestep again. And if you notice, when I sidestep the second time, because I didn't do anything the first time, and because it's only 10 seconds on the clock and I have a small life lead, he flinches and tries to do something. So this is what I mean about kind of reading and seeing what a guy's gonna do. The first sidestep is simply to see what he's gonna do. And if you notice, right before I attack him, right, sidestep right here, second sidestep. Now watch this. I go into the elbow, but he's already used to me sidestepping, not pressing nothing. You see he ducks down to either try to attack or think he's gonna see a high. Maybe he think I'm gonna do sidestep 3, but I do sidestep elbow, blow him up and push him back. Now I got frame advantage and I got the clock on my side. So he could wake up with a button right here. He chose not to because it's the end of the round. He don't wanna get killed. I go with more plus frames. I'm +6 right here. So because I'm +6, he's gotta kinda hold that. I go with back 2. Now I'm just kinda trying to kill clock and push him back at the same time. Back 2, 3, 4 in the junkyard dog. And now because he's running out of clock, he tries to attack. I hit him with a DSS 401. Next round. What we got here? He gave me with a down 2 again. Okay, now I want you to keep this scenario in mind because this is very important, and I'm gonna show you why in a minute, and you're gonna be like, damn, that's kind of cool. But keep this scenario in mind. He did this first round, but he didn't go into his full layers off of it. So if you notice, let's go back. Hits me with a down 2. He goes into this. His second attack is a high. I hold it because I know that in the scenario, but I don't want to get caught getting clipped with nothing cheap. So I just kind of hold that and notice what he does. He does dive kick. Now remember, we saw this last round. And remember, he's +2 on this when he does it. Last time I held it. Now my back is against the wall. In fact, he was in the same exact part of the screen, but I'm like, okay, last time when he did this, he didn't really make it too clear what he wanted to do. I'm gonna just go for a parry for this scenario because I feel a quick jab coming. Look what we do. Let's go back. Rewind it. Catch me with the down 2. Does this scenario right here. Goes into the dive kick that'll make him +2. And what do? I throw a parry out there just to show him that it's not free. Because remember, he did this same exact setup last round, but I didn't do anything about it. This time I throw out a parry. I throw out a parry, and now he's completely exposed. And because I think he's surprised by that, he doesn't even block the follow-up attack. So let's rewind it one more time. We're gonna let that whole scenario play out. He does that. Goes in the dive kick +2. He's about to attack right now, but I decide, you know what? I held this last round. I'm not gonna hold it this time just to keep him on his toes and keep him guessing. I'm gonna take a gamble, which a parry is always a gamble. So it's like a hard educated read, but it's based on what happened last round. So I go for the parry, knock him off. Now we heat engage, right? So now we heat engage. Now we +17 in the scenario where he thought he was gonna have advantage being +2 and get the jab. Now he's -17, gotta worry about what the mix is. So if you notice, he doesn't even like the scenario. He tries to parry it immediately. Watch this. It's almost like an eye for an eye type of thing. I take his turn away. Out of frustration, he tries to take mine back, and you see he misses the parry, so now he gets hit with even more damage. Then I slide off of it, right? Now this is something else right here. So when you do down back 3, as you can see, it's +3. So in this scenario, I think that Law's fastest attack is his DF1, and that might be 7 frames. I could be wrong. It's not burning in the back of my brain, and you can't see the move list right now. But pretty much what that means is, if I got a 7-frame jab, which I do believe DF1 is 7 frames, it might be 10 frames, one or the other. But if it's 7 frames, that means he has to make a move in 10 frames or less because I'm +3. If it's 10 frames, then that means he has to make a move in 13 frames or less because I'm +3. So regardless of what it is, if he doesn't do something that's 13 frames or less, he's not going to win the interaction, and he's only going to get a trade at best. If he does 14 frames or less, I get to blow him up. I'm going to show you why this is important. Let's rewind that. So we take his turn back, slide, mix him up. Down back 3, the first time was just to let him know he might have to block his ankles. A lot of times in Tekken, when you hit somebody with a low, they always look to duck because they think you're gonna try to do it again to condition them. So, or they actually stay up because they think you're gonna do it again because you're trying to set up a mid. But I do down back 3 once, do it again. Now remind you, he could have poked on this. If he decided to poke, because I dashed up and did it, he would have got through. But after I do it the second time, now I know that, okay, I got a life lead, I'm in heat, he got about 40% health left. I got a feeling he's gonna press the button, so I go with a jab. Remember what I said to you earlier, if the jab is 10 frames and I'm +3 right now, that means he has to do something in 13 frames or less just to get a trade at best. If it's less than 13 frames, he'll win the scenario. If it's more than 13 frames, I get to blow him up. So look what happens. Let's rewind the whole scenario. He gets hit with it. Boom. Down back 3 plus 3, down back 3 plus 3. He tries to mash right here. You can see him waking up to mash right now. He's not fully recovered. You can see a button start to come out. I come with a jab, which is 10 frames at the very least. And so now, because he doesn't have the frame advantage, he gets blown up, and I can take that into a heat dash because I'm in heat. Let's see if it all play out. Slide. Plus 3, less than 10. Fully blown up. And just like that, you gotta eat a whole combo for trying to mash. Now, I try to come with some jab action because, as I said, so jab on block is -1. So that brings pretty much, I'm only -1. You can still get another button off unless your opponent is like frame perfect. I try to double up on this. This is the way I like to end rounds, but he actually knows I like to end with the down 4, 1, 3 because the 3 is a low, so he parries it. He goes with his high again, but I got a life lead. I don't really need to do anything. I can just hang back and chill. So now he goes into this same scenario again. Now remember, we've seen this multiple times. This exact same scenario right here, pay attention. This is about the 4th time he's done it. He does that kick, he throws out this punch, that's a high that you can duck, but he changes up just a little bit, but it's the same type of setup. And then he goes in a dive kick, now he's -2. Now remember, when we started this whole entire engagement, it's because I hit him with a back 1-3 parry, which knocked him off and put me in heat engager. So this time, he doesn't want to get parried, that's in his mind. He tried to parry me after I parried him because he was upset he lost his turn. He goes into this exact same setup, which apparently is his bread and butter, and watch what happens. This time, because I parried him on the last one, he goes sidestep. He tries to sidestep, so he's trying to throw my timing off. He goes sidestep down 2. But I got a feeling that he's gonna do something different because I'm like, if he just got parried, it's no way he's gonna do the same setup. So instead of me going with a parry or just holding it, this time I go sidestep 3 plus 4 and look what happens. Because he adds frames to his scenario by doing sidestep down 2, now he gets blown up. This is the same exact scenario that started me getting a life lead in this round. It's just that I parried the last one, but this time I went with something different because I just had a feel for it. You're gonna have to make hard reads sometime, but overall it's kind of like, if you notice your opponent has a tendency and you take away the first flow chart that they do, they'll try to adjust on the fly, which isn't normal. So now it's like he got +2 frames, but he doing sidestep and down +2. That could be an educated guess of thinking I'm going to parry, but at the very least, that's a lot of frames he add into the scenario. I could probably get a button off. So if you look, this is the same thing that I just parried, same exact setup. But now, he changes it up because he's worried about my parry because of what I did about 30 seconds ago. So I go sidestep 3, 4, boom, round over. Just like that, that round's over. And that's because his favorite setup, I broke it twice in that round. One time I parried it, the next time I sidestep 3, 4. So just keep that in mind. Now we in the 3rd round right here. All right, let's get it going. I actually think I get a missed input right here. I think I was trying to do 2 back 2 so I get back turn. I was going to bait him in, but I actually think I got the wrong input right there. That wasn't actually meant to be a 2. He got me blown up with the down 2. Let's start this round over. So I get blown up, get hit with a combo. Push to the wall a little bit. He drops his combo. Now I'm just playing it safe. I'm staying up high. Keep this in mind. It's nothing really long with giving up a low as long as it's not going to end the round. Like, that's just part of Tekken. It's hard to react to lows. They more of a field thing than a reactionary thing unless it's like a big launcher like Snake Edge or some shit like that. So a lot of times when it comes to a low, you're going to have to just get it up because getting hit with a mid in Tekken is way worse than getting hit with a low depending on the situation. So let's rewind that. That's why I'm holding that. I get clipped on the legs. I just take an educated guess on a duck. I wanted to do wild standing 4 DSS2, but I actually did 4-2, so I lost that pressure right there. And he was gonna block it anyway. So this is something I wanna like point out to you guys, right? And this is something that I think happens a lot in Tekken because Tekken is complained about when it comes to mashing. So in this scenario, any jab that I throw out, I'm just kind of getting a check because 2 things I don't like. I don't like having my back against the wall. And I don't like sidestepping down toward the screen because a lot of times when you sidestep down toward the screen, you try to walk, you'll actually duck and crouching to get you blown up for a mid. So I like to step backwards away from the screen, that way I can actually get a full sidestep. In this scenario, since the wall is to my left and the wall is to my back, I'm kind of just holding the pressure for the most part. So anything I throw out right here is just a jab check for distance. Like, I could have ducked that high, but right now I'm just kind of turtling up. I try to get a sidestep 3-4, but he doesn't step in, he doesn't bite, so we just back in neutral. And you see, he's still doing that high, but I'm just trolling up. I'm not trying to duck it to make a hard read. This could be a knowledge check, but in this scenario, I'm just holding everything because I'm too close to the wall and I can't sidestep to the left. So now if you notice, this is where like a lot of people mash and get blown up. And I think he's trying to bait me right here, but this is where discipline comes in and the whole idea of small Tekken. So if you notice, he pushes me back to the wall with this attack, right? He pushes me back right here. So you see we got distance. If I throw out a 1-2 and try to chase him, I'm going to get fucked up completely. So watch what I do. I throw out one jab, I can't reach, I instantly go back to blocking. Clearly, like, he has a life lead, my back is against the wall, I got heat, but I'm in a very bad scenario. Like, all the advantages with him, I'm minus 24 right now when he throws out this attack, but this is like a disciplinary thing that you just have to accept and take in sometime. So I accept it. I throw out one jab to check for range, can't get it, I go right back to blocking. You see, I'm still blocking. I'm minus 21, my back against the wall. I'm still blocking. Now I'm minus 6. All this time I've been blocking when clearly most people want to mash, throw out rage art in this scenario. I'm just blocking and holding all this because I can get that health back anyway by popping heat. But I'm not going to pop heat randomly because I can get blown up if I throw it out the wrong time. So let's just watch. So what ended up happening is because he's using so many of his plus frames, the same hard read that I made in the last round, I tried to make it here where I throw out a parry, but he doesn't attack me, so instead of me landing the parry, I just get blown up because he goes back to his butter and bread setup where he does the dive kick to make some +2. But since I'm parrying, I get lit up. Now I'm minus 17, I get killed. I'm cool with that. Like, it's cool he won the round, but in that scenario, one of the main things I wanted to point out as far as that round, my back being against the wall, me being in a disadvantageous situation, and him having all of that life lead, the best thing to do is not just mash because you'll just make the situation worse. Like, you're compounding a new mistake on top of your old mistake. Sometimes it's better to just hold defense and relax. So in this scenario, that's what I did. I lost the round, but I lasted a lot longer than what I would have had I pressed the button. So we in the 4th round, round start. Let's go ahead and press play. I tried to go for a hop kick. The reason I went for the hop kick is I thought he might do down 2 again. He didn't do it. I was just trying to make a hard read. It didn't happen, but I'm still safe, so I'm good. All right, I get caught with a button. I try to get a low poke off with the low poke whiffs, so we go into a slide because he's giving up distance. Now, this is something that you want to make sure that you don't do as a law main. I don't know if you guys realize what happened right here. It might like I'm doing a stupid backhand fist, but what this is whenever you see a law main did this, what it is, he's trying to do 1+2 nunchuck, but you have to turn around. If you look slowly, I never turn around. Like, if you notice, I never turn around. So just always make sure. It may feel like it's a little bit slower, especially like with the new nerf or whatever, but just always make sure that you turn around first. If you don't turn around, you're gonna get this. And this is heartbreaking because you're leaving free damage on the table and you lost your turn. So I just wanted to point that out. Anyway, slide, missed nunchuck opportunity. I get chab, banana peel kick. And the thing about this is when you do banana peel kick on hit or on block, it automatically gives you a wild standing situation if you press a button. So right here, I'm actually doing wild standing 1, but I didn't mean to. This was supposed to be just a regular jab check, but since I'm doing banana peel kick and it makes me stand up, I get standing 1 or wild rising 1, which is pretty much an attack that puts you in auto DSS. So this is something else I want to point out too. When I do this, when I do banana peel, and this was an accident because I actually was trying to make a read on something, but it didn't work. I do banana peel kick right here, I get wild rising 1. Keep this in mind, law mains. When you do wild rising 1, if you don't do the 2 that follows up, that's a high that you can't be punished on, so always make sure that you hit confirming that. But if you do wild rising 1, you automatically go into DSS. So what you notice right here is that he ducks. I actually do DSS 3, but I'm trying to do up 4-3 for my heat engager. But I forgot that when you do wild rising 1, it automatically puts you in DSS without pressing direction. So when I press 3, if you was to actually see my command history, let me actually go look at it. If you actually look at where it's at, you see I'm doing up 4-3. So I'm trying to get my heat engager, but because I'm in DSS, it actually just gave me DSS standing 3. So just keep that in mind when you do wild rising 1, it automatically puts you in DSS. Let's go ahead and hide that. So let's rewind it. So slide, missing nunchuck opportunity, banana peel kick, wild rising 1. Remember what I said about DSS? I'm in DSS right now, but I don't mean to be, so keep that in mind. So I'm trying to do up 4-3, but DSS 3, he ducks it. So then I come right back to it. Now I go with the up 4-3, which is what I meant to do a second ago when I got the DSS 3 because he kept ducking all the time, and it's a heat engager. So let's rewind that, right there. Heat engage, boom, caught him slipping. Now, he liked to throw out a bunch of parries and stuff. As we've seen, I parried him a few times, so he kind of tried to retaliate, and he don't like the whole pressure that much. So in this scenario with my heat engager, this time I run up and I grab. If you remember last time when I put him in a heat engager, like 2 rounds ago, he did the same thing too as well. He tried to parry that. So now I know since he liked to parry, I'm gonna run up and grab because grabs break parries, and so that's why this works. So boom, heat engage. He tries to grab, tries to parry because he's like holding plus frames, and I hit him with a grab off of it. So this is the thing now. This is where like the mind games and the layers come into play. Because all this is like, it's flow state. I'm not thinking it consciously, but it's a part of my gameplay because I'm kind of just moving like water on the fly. So think about all this happening right here. I get a wild standing 1. I get my up 4-3 heat engager. He don't like to hold, he engage, so I go with the throw. While he try to parry, that get him blown up. Now he's on the ground. Now I'm looking at the scenario. Okay, it's the last round if I win this, right? I got a pretty decent life lead. I'm in heat. He doesn't want to hold the negative frames. On top of that, he got about 40% health, and if I win this round, the match is over. So what I decided to do is go with a 1+2, which puts me in +3. Then I come with a wild standing 4, which puts me in +5. I'm thinking that he might mash potentially, so I go with a DSS2 because I know that the frames are on my side. He respects it and holds it, so now I'm +1. But since I'm +1 and I'm in heat, I'm gonna just take my advantage and keep going. So I go with back 2. He could have used the button to beat that, but in this scenario, he tried not to get blown up. So I'm just using all the data that we've developed so far to my side. So I do back 2, 3, 4, junkyard dog. Now keep this in mind right here, because this is 100% intentional. You see how I delay my DSS F1? Let's rewind it. He's already shown a tendency to not like to hold frames, and he likes to parry. So right here, we're gonna go back to this. We see already right here, he tries to parry right here. Throw beats it, right? He decides to be patient, but he see I'm bringing the pressure. So this time he don't parry. So I go with the DSS2 because I don't expect him to parry. But in the back of my mind, I know that he don't want to hold frames. So when I do junkyard dog, watch what I do. I wonder if you guys caught it. Did you catch what I did right there to make this work out? Before I'm about to go ahead and explain this, in the comments, and be honest about this, because I know you guys be on bullshit sometimes, but in the comments, explain if you understand what happened right here and why this worked in my favor. Because it worked because I'm basically using his tendencies against him as we download information over the course of the match. I realize he don't want to hold plus frames and he likes to parry a lot. So what do I do right here to win this interaction? Because I know that he wants to get out of the scenario. After he just held the last setup, which was DSS2. We got him under control. He holds this one. I know he's not trying to hold another one. I got DSS heat. So what do? I do junkyard dog to go into DSS, but instead, right here, I delay. He throws out the parry I'm anticipating right here. Look at him. You see, that's the parry right there. Usually, most people would do junkyard dog. Even I do it sometimes because I ended around with it earlier when he tried to mash in round 1. I'll do back 2, 3, 4, and I'll go junkyard dog F1. But because I got a feeling he don't want to hold frames, I delay it slightly. Boom, so it works. If I did it right when he expected it, he get his turn back, but I delayed it. When you see me hopping and skipping right here, this right here, that's me delaying the DSS when I do that little bounce. Because Law can throw that out much faster than that, but I delay it right there. He tries to parry, I use it against him, boom. Now he getting blown up, full combo. Round is pretty much over, and I know he gotta hold everything, so I go to DF1 jab because it's my fastest attack. So that was just another match analysis I wanted to do, kind of breaking things down. In that particular scenario, against the Harong player, he was doing plus frame strings, and I had to kind of see what he was doing. He was catching me off guard with some other stuff that I didn't know about. In this scenario, I had somebody who didn't really like to play defense, but he wouldn't take huge gambles. He liked to parry a lot. So I used his parries against him. So that's another match analysis here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that the breakdown is making a little more sense as far as like me explaining things. I feel like sometimes you can get a little bit flustered explaining this because there's so much happening at once, and these are 7-minute clips where I'm talking at a time. But at the same time, I'm hoping that this stuff makes sense to you guys, all right? So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I'll come back with some more of these whenever I found a unique match that I feel like is very important to do this. I'll point it out and making the match analysis. So till next time, it's your boy Lou Streets. I'm out. Peace. That's his tendency. He don't like to block after he get poked. Pause.